Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever done something really stupid for a girl you like? Well, my audience has. I asked some of you guys for your worst simp confessions. Asking you for some of the craziest situations you've got in with a boy, girl, a fucking horse, anything with a pulse that you had a crush on and you were simping for. I just wanted to know some of the crazy stuff that my audience gets up to. And my God, you guys get up to some horrible things, Jesus Christ. Only platinum pullers and golden gooners over here. I don't know, throughout high school I never simped for any girl. Tough one, brother, thank you for sharing that. A year ago, I was in high school last year. I made a friend, we got close, she was super hot and nice. That's good that you said that, because if she wasn't super hot and nice, I would be seriously questioning the things you're about to tell me. Because I really find it hard to excuse any level of simping, but if we're talking like Megan Fox, Madison Beer levels of hot, maybe she's like Sydney Sweeney's twin identical sister that got separated at birth and you just randomly stumbled across her at high school. Probably not though. I wanted to get close to her as much as possible, so I did the stupidest thing one could do. Slowly started helping her with homework. Then did her entire school year, 5 months or so, full of schoolwork, from normal assignments to even presentations. Oh no, brother, no. It's not like you're paying for her food though, right? It hasn't got that far. Fast forward to that, I'm paying for her food. Oh God, no. And also with the shrinkflation of McDonald's meals and just food in general, if this girl is built like Dave Blunt's, or like some metamorphosis between the Michelin Man and Dave Blunt's, it's gonna be long for you. Every time you take her out, it's gonna be like 20-30 schmeckles, my brother. And I know on a high school budget, that's just gonna be painful. We got past the thank you point by then, and I don't know what you mean by thank you point. Is it like every time she saw you before, she would just tell you to fuck off, but now she's like, thank you? Is it like every time she saw you, she would just break down in tears and be like, please stay away from me, I don't want your free cafeteria food anymore? It was like she would say, here's my notebook. Boom! The next day I would have it. However, I stopped later when I found out she had a boyfriend who very much did not like me. And neither do I. I'm joking, mate. I love you, but please find God. Really, that's an unfortunate situation to find yourself in though. I feel like a lot of people have been in that situation, and it's kind of tough because you're just trying to be a nice, caring person and show that you're a good person, and some people just use that and take advantage of it. Not mine, but my brother told me this story. So one day he's in college and he has this roommate, who I will not name. One day my brother goes into his dorm room after his classes and catches the roommate eating to his crush's Bitmoji on Snapchat. Is that weird? Is that really weird? Because me too, brother. I need to meet this guy. Great minds need to think together. Me and him could be the next Plato and Socrates. I just need to know his exact address. My brother also once caught him having AI sex on an AI chat website with an AI character of his crush. I met the roommate once. He was a really weird dude. You don't say, mate. Oh, I honestly would have never guessed it. You made him sound perfectly normal. It feels weird calling this guy out for things we all do, you know? Like, that's just a normal Tuesday for me. On a real note, though, what is, AI sex? Because is that, like, VR sex? Because if that's weird, then lock me up and throw away the keys, buddy. He also always talked about his crush and told him how they'd get married one day and how hot she was. He probably even stalked his crushes on Instagram by how much he knew about her. Is this a video about simping anymore, or just a tutorial about how to get locked up as quick as possible? Beating it to a Bitmoji is one thing that we've all done. Making an AI character of your crush and then badoinky doinky sploinky with it is another thing. That is some fucking evil Gotham Riddler Diddler type shit. Like, please, lock that man up. That's not simping anymore, bro. That is a federal crime and you will be sent to jail for that. This guy doesn't deserve Miranda rights, bro. This guy deserves to be locked up in the castle from Shrek where Fiona's kept and never shown the light of day again. Please. 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 I once wrote and recorded a song for this dude I had a crush on. I told my friend and she said, oh my God, you should send it. And effectively pressured me into it. I sent it to him. Full stop. He was gay.
After all that,
That is crazy. My friend, you have been gay zoned. I need more context behind this though. Like, had the gay man come out yet, or was he still like in the closet? Did your friend know? Because if your friend knew, what an absolute fucking bitch. Imagine convincing somebody, imagine telling somebody that you're close with, you're extremely close with, to put out a song that you've written for somebody, and then that person doesn't like you. As the friend, I would feel horrible. As the person writing the song, I would feel even worse. And as the gay dude, I would be fucking ecstatic, because that shows you, even if you switch teams, you still got it. You still got it. You can get the hoes and the bros. You got both sides of the chessboard. This kid at my school, who is now a convicted always acted like he was straight. He dated this one girl in the grade above him for about a year. Little did she know, and I'ma try and say this with the emphasis I believe he wanted me to say it in. He was gay! He had a crush on a boy who was about half his size and who was straight. Now they both took the same orchestra class together, and in order to show affection towards his crush, the straight boy, he grabbed his clarinet, pulled the kid's pants down, and you can guess the rest. Pardon me, I'ma try and guess the rest. When you say that he grabbed his clarinet, do you mean his actual clarinet or like his thing downstairs? Because you said they were in orchestra class, but that's not clear. Because although this is a crazy story, in the UK we had something called pantsying, which was essentially you going around and just pulling down your homie's pants. I promise it wasn't gay. He got escorted out by officers and shit was wild. He got 8 months juvie, but now he's back at my school, just amongst us, and people act like nothing happened. The kid who got violated is now homeschooled. He got schmeckeldorfed. Definitely a crazy story. I don't know which one's worse, this or beating it to a Bitmoji. But the guy that did get assaulted in that story, it's sad, man. Honestly, I mean, there's more of a sexual assault confession right there, but that's for real peak for him, man. Imagine being homeschooled. But like, for real, me personally, if I was in that situation and I got touched up, the one thing I would want to do in the entire world is beat that kid's ass. Like, I wouldn't want to be stuck at home with my parents all day. In fact, I wouldn't even want to talk about the situation with my parents. Maybe it's just UK people and I don't know, but I could seriously not look my dad in the eyes and tell him, yeah, I got my dick scratched by another guy. This is going to be more pathetic than crazy, but in my sophomore year of high school, I really fell for a girl. She was a senior and I was still a sophomore. We had great chemistry at first, at least up until the winter formals. I paid for our tickets and she just wanted to hang out with her friends. Immediately afterwards, she started dating a friend of mine and then dumped him for a guy online. What the hell? That is the biggest red flag I've seen in my entire life. A guy online? Bro, was she like a fucking Discord mod or something? Were they having like e-sex every 2 days? I need more lore behind this, because in my mind, this just doesn't make sense. In what world would you ever choose an online relationship over an IRL relationship? Anyway, for the majority of the year, I sat in the friend zone despite everyone's warning. I even went all the way out to the beach to hang out with her on her birthday, even texting her frequently trying to help with her relationship problems. Now that sentence started okay, alright? In my mind, it's perfectly okay to go out to the beach to spend time with somebody on their birthday. But giving relationship advice to somebody you want to be in a relationship with? Damn, that's crazy. 6 months later, we wished each other a happy New Year's and she unfriended me and blocked me out of the blue.
You're not that guy.
I felt defeated, wondering what I did wrong. Fast forward to now, turns out she's a drug addict and her family's crazy, so I dodged a bullet. Brother, I think the bullet dodged you. But either way, I'm glad for you. But what's crazy is that she unfriended you and blocked you after you texted her Happy New Year's. She said, you know what, to start the year off right, to start my New Year's resolutions off perfect, I'ma block his ass. Did you really do anything wrong though? I feel like the thing you did wrong in this situation was not tell her how you felt at the moment. And that's crazy coming from me, a guy that's single. Honestly, I'm truly the perfect person to be giving relationship advice. I'm single. What more do I need on my resume? Because I've been in a similar situation myself. I know I give a lot of slack to you guys and just simps in general for being a bit wet, a wee bit moist in the panty area, but I've been there myself. Not like moist in the underwear area. So you know what? I'm gonna give you my own simp confession. I turned a girl gay.
Crunchy chocolate bar espresso.
Back pretty recently, to be honest, I had a bit of a situationship going on with this one girl that I liked. In fact, I liked her a bit too much, to the point where it wasn't really mutual anymore. It was like a straight man trying to memorize colors of the pride flag to try and get in a threesome with two lesbians, which is a bit of a foreshadow to the next part of the story. I was fighting a losing war, but I won one battle where I convinced her to go on a date. Which I realize makes me sound like the next Ted Bundy, but I swear to you, she did want to go on this date. I promise. I'm promising you, okay? So I took her to McDonald's, which I realize now McDonald's is getting a lot of runtime out of this video. Please sponsor me. And I ended up paying 25 schmeckles for 2 double cheeseburger meals. Yeah, okay, you can laugh, it's fine. And the date was going great after that. Or at least in my mind, because she didn't even think it was a date. We walked down to the beach after that, because, you know, I live by the beach. Although it was February, so it was fucking freezing. But we were sitting on the beach, and I at least was enjoying my time. I don't know about her. And I visibly remember trying to put my arm around her shoulder, but as I was in the motion of lifting it up, my finger got caught in a Snickers wrapper. But I was already in the motion and committed to putting my arm on her shoulder. So when eventually I got there, she turned around to her left and she saw my hand, covered in a Snickers wrapper. 10 minutes of 50-degree weather later, we ended up walking back to the bus stop. We sat at the bus stop in silence for 5 minutes. She got on her bus and she left. And we didn't talk for like the next week and a half, 2 weeks. From that point on, every time I walked past her in school, it would just be the most awkward, hey, ever. It's like I know I fumbled, but I didn't want to make it awkward, so I was just like, hi, how you doing? Fast forward 3 months, she came out as a lesbian. And I kind of feel partially responsible for that. Like, my riz was so negative that she started liking the opposite sex. She was like, I'm done with penis now. I'm switching teams. I've had enough. Anyway, enough of this self-humiliation ritual. Let's move on to more of your terrible simp confessions.
Back when I was a freshman, I had a huge crush on a girl that I did weird and creepy things to know about. Her in her class schedule, I would always try to follow her to see what her routine is in the morning so I could speak to her privately. I would always stalk her Instagram to see what she was doing, such as what she likes and dislikes. I felt like Joe Goldberg. I truly am him. I'm in college now and I don't do that anymore. I love her videos, by the way.
I've run out of stories now, but I'm quite enjoying this, so I'm gonna just pull some stories I found off the internet. Asked a stripper out for a date about 10 times, got stood up 10 times. Everyone focuses on the negatives in life. Focus on the positives for once. At least you only asked her out 10 times and not 20. It was better than the last guy. Although anything that doesn't land you in jail is better than the last guy. In 6th grade, I liked this slim girl, and she had a boyfriend who I was friends with at the time, and so when I confessed my feelings for the girl, she decided to give me a piece of her hair, which she cut off on her own accord. And how does one not cut their hair off on their own accord? I'm just saying, I hope you weren't bringing scissors in each day being like,
Just cut a little piece off for me, real quick.
She then said if I danced in front of the whole school, she would date me. You can see how well that went. When I finally gathered the courage to do it, the whole school laughed at me, and then the girl later tells me that she's dating someone, the friend I told you about earlier. And my heart sank like a rock. From then on, I decided to never ever do anything for anyone else in the name of love.